Okay.
So I would like to thank all the members who are here with us. I would like to thank Jean to organize this meeting, and I would like to welcome and thank our new members, Tatiana and Vladimir, who will present us today their work and their project.
Да, мы поняли, Азиза.
Да. Он так, к президенту обращается, чтобы он сначала поприветствовал. Я немножко рано открыла презентацию.
Да? Ну ладно, хорошо.
Мгм.
Объясни, как будет, наверное, да?
Да.
So I propose that now, Mr. Mokiy, you can start your presentation, and then we will have discussion.
Владимир Стефанович, раз мы начинаем... Мгм. Владимир Стефанович, вы вступительное слово скажете или не сразу?
Нет, я это, как мы договаривались, да. Я хочу, да, пару слов. Нам очень почетно выступать перед таким собранием.
To begin with, we are very honored to perform our project in front of such a great public.
К сожалению, Windows в моей голове, программа Windows в моей голове настроена на русский язык.
Unfortunately, my brain program is associated with only Russian language.
Но я надеюсь, что наша многолетняя плодотворная работа
But I hope that our work during many years, our prosperous work during many years,
научит нас французскому языку, а мы научим присутствующих русскому языку.
will help us to learn French language, and we can help the attendants to learn the Russian language.
Спасибо. Мы надеемся, что сегодняшняя встреча будет интересна для присутствующих.
We hope that today's meeting will be interesting for all the participants.
И сообщим общую информацию, которая позволит нам понравиться, показать наши возможности и в конечном итоге выйти на многолетнее плодотворное сотрудничество.
And we hope that we can share with you information which will make a good impression on you and will make a foundation for a good and prosperous job for the coming years.
Мы надеемся, что наша встреча будет интересна.
We hope that the meeting will be interesting.
И хотим, чтобы вы задали больше, в этой встрече мы получили больше вопросов к нам.
And we would like you to ask as many questions as possible just to clear up the project for you.
Спасибо, мы готовы начать встречу.
Thank you, and we are ready to start the meeting. To begin with, I would like to present myself. My name is Aziza, and today I'm going to help my colleagues to present the project. But at the same time, I am a senior lecturer at the State University, and I have a PhD in linguistics. But today, my aim is to help my colleagues to present their project in the most possible best way.
Thank you very much for this.
So, okay. So let me present you the International System Transdisciplinary Project by autonomous non-profit organization, Institute of Transdisciplinary Technologies of Russian School of Transdisciplinarity. The history of the Russian School of Transdisciplinarity begins on the 19th of August in 1990. And the school got its name not according by its ethnicity, but because of its content. Because every scientist and specialist of any nationality and citizenship can relate themselves to the Russian School of Transdisciplinarity if that specialist perceives transdisciplinarity as an actual scientific discipline based on philosophical principles of unicentrism, the concept of a general system theory, and the methodology of the system's transdisciplinary approach. The aim of the Russian School of Transdisciplinarity covered the following areas: to form the methodology of system transdisciplinarity research of natural and social objects within the framework of the discipline system transdisciplinarity, to form the philosophical, conceptual, and methodological foundations of system transdisciplinarity and the general system theory, to develop concepts of system transdisciplinarity methods for monitoring and managing the condition of technical, environmental, and social objects, and to develop the concepts of system transdisciplinary projects in various fields of society, science, and technology. And for many years, the Institute shared this work with representatives of various Russian organizations of higher education, such as Moscow State University, Moscow State Technical University, State University of Management, Moscow State University of Civil Engineering, Kabardino-Balkarian State University, and some specialized state and non-state scientific institutions. And as a result of this work, on the 12th of March in 2007 was established the autonomous non-profit organization Institute of Transdisciplinary Technology, and it is the only officially registered organization in Russia that professionally carries out work on the entire subject of theoretical justification, scientific development, and practical implementation of transdisciplinary technologies used in high-threshold problems of modern society, science, and technology. The main task of the Institute is to preserve and reconsider the experience of the Russian School of Transdisciplinarity, as well as the formation of the foundations of systems transdisciplinarity as a scientific discipline. The Institute has a small staff of disciplinary specialists. It is up to 10 people, but each of them are competent researchers and specialists, and they are involved in practical work on solving specific problems carried out within the framework of the team. In all the investigations and researches, the Institute of Transdisciplinary Technologies uses a system transdisciplinarity approach. Unlike to the transdisciplinary approach, which uses the synthesis and integration of disciplinary knowledge, the system transdisciplinary approach uses the unification and generalization based on the philosophical concept of unicentrism. And according to the Institute, we see unification as a process of bringing the disciplinary knowledge and their disciplinary classifications to a uniform system transdisciplinarity classification. And generalization is seen as a method of ordering disciplinary knowledge, as a result of which we can have the objective essence of the object of a particular research. Before seeing the plan of the project, we would like to clear up the terms we use during the project, and one of that is unicentrism. In broad sense, unicentrism is a position in philosophy and in science that is based on the problem of the correlation between the unity and its fragments. This position is based on the isomorphism of the general order, of the structure of fragments of space, the attributes of information, and the periods of time that are able to describe the one and only world. And this order may present itself in everywhere, in every fragment of this world, in every interaction of these fragments, and at every level of reality. And as a result of this interaction, the same order should ensure the achievement of activity goals, results of all these fragments. And also, in addition, it should synchronize this goals and results. According to the concept of unicentrism, the one and only world is reflected by 4 axioms. The first one is that the world is one orderly medium. The second concept is that the unity of the orderly medium determines the general order. And the general order itself is associated with a transdisciplinary system. And according to the fourth concept, models of transdisciplinary system manifested in space, time, and information allow us to understand and describe the world and its unity and at any level of reality. And using the potential of unicentrism, unification, and generalization, a system transdisciplinary approach allows us to rethink and search for solutions to high threshold problems of society, science, and technology. And the sustainable development of society, as well as the formation of a transdisciplinary worldview in higher education, relate to such problems. According to the declaration of the Third World Congress of Transdisciplinarity, as well as according to the experience of solving high threshold problems, contributed to the formation of the idea of the 2 learned international system transdisciplinary projects. The first one is developing a philosophical, conceptual, and methodological framework for planning, forecasting, and managing the sustainable development of a liberal stage civilizations during the years 2023 and 2030. And the second project is forming systems transdisciplinary worldview foundation in the field of higher education during the years 2023 to 2026. And scientifically based results of this project will have a positive impact on the following further development of modern society. Sustainable development, as we see it, is expedient development. Therefore, reasoning about the ecological, economic, social, and cultural components of sustainable development will make sense only if it's provided with the objective content of the overall goal and the milestone goals of the development of society. And development becomes sustainable when, first of all, it has justified the need for continuity of milestone goals and the development of modern society, when we justify the reforms of the management of society in accordance with the requirements of the current stage of its development. And also when we justify the mechanism for forcing states to peaceful coexistence in the context of the goal of the current stage of development of society. And finally, only if we create the foundations for training transdisciplinary generalists at universities who will professionally solve the problems of managing the sustainable development of society. And obtaining the expected results requires coordination on the individual duration of the stages and all the periods of both projects. And the calculation of individual duration and coordination of each project was carried out on the basis of the system's transdisciplinarity model of a temporal unit of order. And that order is a logically completed sequence of stages and periods, which makes it possible to substantiate the durations of an expedient development of the objects. And stage model is seen as a set of stages demonstrating a consistent acceleration of the process of expedient development of objects, their properties, connections, and relationships. A multiplex model demonstrates the distribution and synchronization of soft and hard programs for the expedient development of objects. And in the multiplex model, each time period is represented by a specific wave or set of waves. And in the innovative maps of each of the projects, we will see the demonstration of this coordination. So according to the first project, Forming System Transdisciplinarity Worldview Foundation and the field of higher education, it is planned to adapt the discipline system transdisciplinarity to its use in the disciplinarity structure of university, especially on the master's level, to create an international standard for system transdisciplinarity education and competences. prepare a special textbook, and also specify the main and additional literature. And also we plan to create the basis for the emergence of a new specialty, a system transdisciplinary generalist. It is also assumed that the members of the creative team will provide a brief, fascinating description of basic knowledge in certain disciplines for the preparation of relevant sections and chapters of the textbook. They will also are to prepare a list of examination questions and answers on disciplinary sections, and also to determine the number of study hours for studying educational materials. And according to the innovative map of the project, we are planning to do the following things. By the 9th of June in 2023, the project passport will be created. The passport will describe the initial idea of the project related to the formation of the meta-discipline system transdisciplinarity, the goals of each stage and wave of the innovative map, as well as ways to achieve them. By September 30 in 2024, an international standard of system transdisciplinary higher education will be formed, as well as general cultural and professional competences that will be possessed by a specialist of a new profession, a system transdisciplinary generalist. And that specialist is a specialist who will be able to rethink and propose solutions to high threshold problems of modern society based on the concept and methodology of system transdisciplinarity. By August 15 in 2025, the text of the textbook systems transdisciplinarity will be prepared, and also will be prepared the list of compulsory and recommended literature, as well as the question for testing of the students. By January 22 in 2026, the discussion of the basic training documents for transdisciplinary generalists will be completed. And by the 1st of July in 2026, a complete package of basic documents will be prepared and published for the training of transdisciplinary generalists at the Department of System Transdisciplinarities at various universities. Into the second project, developing a philosophical, conceptual, and methodological framework for planning, forecasting, and managing the sustainable development of a liberal stage civilization, it is supposed to substantiate the objective grounds for planning, forecasting, and managing the sustainable development of modern society as part of planetary functional ensemble. And it is also accepted that the members of a creative team will provide a short and fascinating description of the existing basic opinions, views, concepts of environmental, economic, social, and cultural components of sustainable development. They will point to global disciplinarity problems for which it is necessary to provide system transdisciplinary solutions, and will also take an active part in the discussion of the content of the main project documents. And according to the map that we can see on the slide, we can do the following things. By November 15 in 2023, the project passport will be created. And the passport will describe the whole idea of the project, the goals of each stage and period of the innovation map, as well as ways to achieve them. By the 1st of July in 2026, the process of sampling and systematization of initial information on the economic, environmental, social, and cultural components of sustainable development will be completed. By the 1st of April in 2028, the process of unification and generalization of initial information on the economic, environmental, social, and cultural components of sustainable development will be completed. Also, will be completed the text of the basic documents of the project. By the 15th of February in 2029, the discussion of the basic documents of the philosophical, conceptual, and methodological basis for planning, forecasting, and management of sustainable development of a liberal stage civilization will be completed. And by the 1st January in 2030, a complete package of basic documents of the philosophical, conceptual, and methodological basis for planning, forecasting, and managing the sustainable development of a liberal stage civilization will be prepared and published. In conclusion, we would like to say that for the first time, such complex projects are planned to be completed within a strictly defined time frame with pre-announced results. Implementation of the projects will be an example of rethinking and solving high-threshold problems of modern society using system thinking and a transdisciplinary view. Finally, the participation in the projects will allow you to gain practical experience in system transdisciplinary thinking and solving high-threshold problems of modern society.
Спасибо большое for the presentation. To the three of you, thank you for such clear presentation, very interesting introduction of the institution of Vladimir Mokiy, and to the proposition to join the two projects. So maybe we can have some time now all together to ask some questions. So I'm addressing the audience, people who are here. I have to say that a lot of members and friends of CIRET can't be here in real time with us right now because for many reasons, but I will put online the record of this video conference in order to share it in a larger audience. If you can translate, maybe.
Okay. Владимир Стефанович, он поблагодарил вас за представление проекта, за интересную демонстрацию и презентацию. Сказал, что, к сожалению, не все участники организации CIRET смогли присутствовать, но он выложит всю информацию онлайн, видео, чтобы все могли посмотреть. И сказал, что либо вместе, либо уже каждый по отдельности будет, если можно, задавать вопросы.
Сейчас я просто хочу предложить, чтобы мы несколько опередили события и просмотрели наши вопросы, которые мы подготовили, и ответы на них. Это позволит сократить время.
Just to shorten our time, I would like to all of the participants just look through some possible questions, some expected questions that may arise. Just look through them, and maybe after that to continue our discussions and to continue answering some questions, if it's suitable for you.
Of course. Yes, thank you very much. So if someone here present would like to make some commentaries or have some questions to ask to Vladimir and Tatiana, please.
Владимир Стефанович, они посмотрят вопросы.
Так, может, ты зачитаешь их? Надо зачитать, наверное.
Просить, Владимир Стефанович.
А?
Просто он сказал, что как бы они посмотрят вопросы и обратился к присутствующим, хочет ли кто-нибудь задать. Мне спросить, зачитывать эти вопросы или...
Ну, желательно, чтобы сейчас мы все-таки озвучили наши вопросы, потому что без терминологии сложно будет задавать вопросы.
Vladimir Stefanovic is just proposing to maybe I will read some expected questions, yes, and answers to them, and maybe after that we will go on with the discussion. Will it be suitable?
Зачитываем?
So can I go on with reading some expected questions?
Yes, please.
Thank you. So the first expected question is what definitions of transdisciplinarity we have used. And according to the Office of the Project, transdisciplinarity is seen as designation of the intellectual activity intensification in the area of interdisciplinary interactions, contributing to maximum broadening of the scientific worldview horizon. Transdisciplinary approach is seen from us as a group of unique methods of maximum broadening the scientific worldview horizon within the limits of the philosophic picture of a holistic world through integrating and synthesizing disciplinary knowledge. And according to the term system transdisciplinary approach, it is seen as a universal method of maximum broadening the scientific worldview horizon within the limits of the philosophic picture of one and only world through a unification and generalization of disciplinary knowledge. So the second expected question is, why have you highlighted the need to find a method for long-term planning, forecasting, and sustainable development management? So according to our opinion, the search for a method of long-term planning, forecasting, and sustainable development management is the most relevant today just to ensure the security of the modern world. The third question is, why is the problem of sustainable development still not solved, and is it too difficult problem for science? So the problem of sustainable development has not yet been solved according to two reasons. Higher education does not form student system thinking and transdisciplinary worldview, which would allow future specialists to rethink and solve such high threshold problems. And transdisciplinary and system transdisciplinary approaches have not been used to rethink and solve these problems. The following question is, how will the problem of preserving the mental and psychological comfort of disciplinarian specialists will be solved in international transdisciplinary project? So mental and psychological discomfort arises in disciplinarians in cases when they are forced to go beyond the boundaries of their disciplines. Within the framework of international transdisciplinary project, disciplinarians will not go beyond the boundaries of their disciplines, and specialists will be invited to carry out their usual research activities, to systematize and rethink disciplinary knowledge about the stages and periods of society's development, but in new system transdisciplinary contexts. The following questions is, can there be philosophical, theoretical, and methodological contradictions between specialists who use a transdisciplinary and system transdisciplinary approach? And certainly, transdisciplinary approach and system transdisciplinary approach have fundamental differences. According to transdisciplinary approach, we achieve maximum integrity in the perception of the object under study. Therefore, this approach allows you to focus research on the object itself, which can be opposed to the environment. But according to system transdisciplinary approach, we achieve maximum unity in the perception of the object under study. Therefore, this approach considers the object as a natural fragment of the environment. This explanation does not indicate contradictions of approaches, but their different purposes. The transdisciplinary approach successfully solves low and medium threshold problems. For such problems, it is important to focus on solving the problem itself. And a system transdisciplinary approach successfully solves high threshold problems. In this case, he adds to the solution the problem his analysis of medium and long-term risks to the environment. Therefore, in the proposed international projects, these approaches will not contradict, but complement and strengthen each other.
The following question: who can initiate the creation of the International Center for Innovation in Higher Education? And according to the authors of the project, this may be the group of interested persons, organizers of higher education, a university of any state, and a group of interested universities from different countries. According to the functions of the International Center for Innovation in Higher Education, we suggest the following. First of all, it is creation and international standard of system transdisciplinary education and transdisciplinary competence, the content of which will be clear to the organizers of higher education and will be accepted in the disciplinary structure of universities. The second function is to form the scientific methodological base for the education of the system transdisciplinarity methodology in the universities, and to develop and systematize of expertise of insertion of system transdisciplinarity into the higher education system. The third function is development of educational program, preparation of the appropriate educational and methodological literature, and organization and support of the preparation of teachers on the discipline system transdisciplinarity and its transdisciplinary subjects. Organization of programs of system transdisciplinary preparation and increase in the qualification of specialists. The following function is to organize seminars and scientific practical conferences for exchange of expertise in the utilization of system transdisciplinary methodology in solution of high threshold problems, and also for the topics that stimulate the interest towards the discipline system transdisciplinarity and system transdisciplinary methodology. And the last function is to assist the universities that entails educating the students and specialists in methodologies of transdisciplinarity. The following question is why it is not recommended to introduce the discipline system transdisciplinarity in the universities of only one state. So each scientific discipline performs 4 actions. It forms a disciplinary worldview, methodology, language, and creates certain technologies. And system transdisciplinarity makes it possible to create technologies for managing sustainable development, as well as technologies for non-coercive coercion of states to peaceful coexistence. And the possession of such technologies by only one state will create undeniable advantages over other states. Therefore, all states of modern society should have such technologies, as well as specialists who can apply them. And on the last side, they are the links to the resources that are used during the project and during the presentation. So, thank you.
Thank you very much, Aziza. Thank you very much for your help.
So we have 2 people who would like say something. First one is Edward Stake, who is very patient. So please, Edward, if you want to say something.
Thank you. And thank you very much to Tatiana and Vladimir and our translator. 2 comments. Are you taking into account the work done by Karl Pribram, Ken Wilber, who published the holographic paradigm with contribution of David Bohm and Christophe Capra? I support the translation in French almost 40 years ago, and it's pretty similar to Joël de René working on complexity, and it might be useful for you. My question is, are you going to study the interaction between concept research and application or experimentation in an organization or whatever? My personal field has been in for 30 years to bring the change in companies, including Russia, in 30 countries. And I use a holographic model, very inspired by Chinese medicine and Chinese Buddhism, Taoism vision of the world. So I'm very supportive of the Russian research because I met many pluridisciplinarity experts in Russia, and I know the high level of research that Russian researcher can make.
Владимир Стефанович, первый вопрос, он говорит, использовали ли вы в создании проекта работы по холографическому, исследованию по холографической направленности? И второй вопрос, он говорит, собираетесь ли вы исследовать вот этот концепт на экспериментальном уровне в разных университетах или в каких-то организациях, потому что он говорит, что за 44 года работы в 30 компаниях он пытался исследовать и знакомился с многопрофильными специалистами. Он также говорит про то, что встречался со многими российскими многопрофильными специалистами. Он знает, что если это российские исследователи, то это то это зачастую очень сильные, объемные работы. И на этой основе он задает два вопроса. Будет ли какое-то концептуальное исследование на экспериментальном уровне? И рассматривали ли вы работы в холографической направленности, он сказал.
Холографическая, я просто уточнить, холизм, имеется в виду холизм, да, или что?
Да, да.
Вот это.
Да.
Ну, я начну со второго вопроса. Я просто, ты так переводи, я коротко буду говорить, что а ты будешь переводить. Значит, Русская школа трансдисциплинарности, а позже Институт трансдисциплинарных технологий всегда вел работу в двух направлениях – теоретическом и практическом.
So I would like to begin with answering to the second question as it comes to the experimental subject. And Russian School of Transdisciplinarity and the Institute of Transdisciplinarity also held its work in two fields, theoretical and experimental.
С 1990 года мы провели проверку теоретических предположений в 62 академических дисциплинах.
Since 1990, we checked in different higher educational institutions 62 academic subjects.
Это ареалы от квантовой физики до микробиологии.
So that was subjects from quantum physics to microbiology.
Да, от геологии планеты до современного общества.
Also, that was the subject from earth biology to study of social society, of modern society.
Если теоретические предположения расходились с фундаментальными законами в этих дисциплинах, мы тут же меняли концепцию философскую или концепцию системно-трансдисциплинарного подхода.
And if the fundamentals of each of the subjects highly contradicted to the general rules and general concept, we changed the course of the study in a shortest possible period of time.
Я отношусь к старой научной школе, к высшему образованию старой научной школы российской.
So I consider myself as a member of the Russian old higher school institution.
И в этой школе особое внимание уделялось философскому образованию.
And in that old Russian school, higher education school, the main attention was paid to the philosophical education.
Поэтому у российских ученых, как и у французских ученых, в крови любовь к мудрости.
That is why Russian scientists as well as French scientists are bound to aim all its work in accordance with methods of wisdom.
И поэтому, конечно же, когда мы говорили когда мы решали мировоззренческие проблемы,
that is why when we would like to solve some global worldview problems,
мы начинали с философии древнегреческой философии.
And we started our researches according to the philosophy of ancient Greece.
И мы четко понимали, что есть холизм Платона, но есть единоцентризм Плотина.
And it was clear to us that there would be great differences between calligraphic system of Platon and Vladimir Stefanovich.
Единоцентризм, юницентризм.
And yes, and the principles of unicentrism.
Плотин.
Yes, and the unicentrism of Plotин. That of Plotин.
Да. И поэтому, пока мы не сформировали философского основания, дальше не имело смысла разрабатывать концепцию.
And that is why in the beginning of each project, the first thing to do for us was to form the philosophical basis.
Философия – это основа всех наук.
And philosophy is a foundation of any subject and of any science.
И поэтому хорошее философское обоснование найдет всегда приложение во всех дисциплинах, в их теории, практике и методологии.
And if any subject will have a good and stable philosophical foundation, it will be a great support for their following theoretical and practical decisions.
Сегодня мы получили, с 96 года мы получили много отзывов о работе, о проверочных работах в министерствах и ведомствах России. О практических работах, исследовательских работах.
Since 1996, we received a lot of reviews on the students' tests and students' work from different higher and governmental institutions.
Да, но пока мы не получили эти отзывы, пока мы не сформировали полностью ясную, четкую философское основание, концепцию, методологию и не
in a great amount, we didn't start our work on the international level unless we could not form the whole concept of all of that reviews, the whole concept of all of that work and fields. And only after that, we started to build our work on the international level.
Планета, общество, страна, каждый из нас уникален.
And the earth itself, every society and every person itself is a unique being.
Мы не можем ставить на уникальных объектах, мы не имеем права ставить эксперименты.
And we could not make any experiment on unique objects.
Мы не можем ставить эксперименты на уникальных объектах.
Да, я сказала.
Да. И поэтому мы должны предоставить это теории и методологии, зная, какие результаты получатся.
And that is why any experiment, any results will be made only on theoretical and experimental level of any research discipline, only if we know that every person and every being and the environment is a unique thing.
Мы считаем, что экологические, политические и идеи, проблемы в обществе, они существуют только потому, что управленцы ставят эксперименты, а это недопустимо.
And we are sure that all the ecological, economic, and social problems in society arise only because of all the decisions are made by the government rulers.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I'm very happy, and I hope we can interact in the future. You can find my book in Russian. You can get it in Russian.
Говорит, что у него книга на русском.
It has been published 15 years ago by a friend who is teaching sociology at Lomonosov University.
Она была опубликована 15 лет назад, он сказал.
Очень спасибо.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I would like to discuss a little bit about two projects that were presented from this year to 2026 and the other one until 2030. And I appreciate the international dimension of those projects proposed by the Institute and School of Russian Transdisciplinarity. My question is, to whom maybe already or in a close future the two projects are addressed, and does Tatiana and Vladimir have already some contacts in other countries? Right now we have people from America, from Pacific, from Romania who are present, and I know some other people are very interested to join the projects or to question about the two projects. And so I would like to know if the Russian School, Institute and Academy of Transdisciplinarity have already contacts with other international institutions or other universities in maybe different countries or whatever, in order to start or to join the two projects, please.
Говорит, что хотел бы начать с обсуждения двух проектов. Во-первых, он оценил такое подробное планирование, и его вопрос заключается в следующем. Кому в ближайшем будущем, каким организациям учебным адресованы эти проекты? Есть ли у вас контакты с учебными организациями, в которых можно было бы реализовать этот проект? Он говорит, что сегодня здесь присутствуют специалисты из Америки, Румынии,
Romania,
Тихого океана, Румынии. И есть ли у вас еще какие-то контакты со специалистами в университетах, которых можно будет реализовать эти проекты?
Когда я думаю, что у нас этот проект целесообразно совершать совместно со всеми мировыми школами трансдисциплинарности и центрами трансдисциплинарности.
I think that first of all, it is be useful to implement this project with the help of the international schools of transdisciplinarity.
Институт трансдисциплинарных технологий и CIRET – это только инициаторами международного проекта. Они выступают инициаторами международного проекта.
And the Institute of Transdisciplinary Technologies and the CIRET organization can only initiate the beginning of that project.
Это тот центр кристаллизации, на котором должна сосредоточиться вся работа современных вся трансдисциплинарная деятельность в мире.
It is the basis for the following and future job and following future research of any other international schools of transdisciplinarity throughout the world.
К сожалению, мы вынуждены употреблять такие пафосные выражения.
Unfortunately, we have to use such metaphoric expressions.
Поэтому мы должны собрать мнение всех школ, специалистов всех школ трансдисциплинарности во всех странах.
So that is why we are aimed to gather the opinion of the participants of different schools of transdisciplinarity throughout the world.
У тех, кто сейчас слушает наш разговор, еще есть возможность обратиться к Флорену Паскье с предложением вступить, стать инициатором этого проекта. Потом будет поздно.
And the president of the CIRET organization have the possibility to implement all the participants of today's meeting to take part in such a great project.
9 июня, согласно инновационной карте, будет разработан проект первого проекта по образованию.
And on the 9th of June, and on the 9th of June, according to innovative map of one of the projects, we will create the passport of the projects.
В этом паспорте мы опишем все организации, согласуем, найдем адреса и укажем все организации трансдисциплинарные и университеты, которым целесообразно разослать предложение и информационное письмо.
And in this passport, we include the names and all the addresses of each of the organization which are going to participate in this project, and the organizations which may be advised to take part in that project.
Да, возможно, это уникальный опыт, когда каждый организатор высшего образования предложит интересный способ привлечения своих коллег к нашей работе, к общей работе, к нашим общим проектам.
And it may be a unique opportunity for all the participants to maybe to create and to give some reasons and ways to implement and make other participants to take part in that project.
Мы наблюдаем, вот, следя за работой второго и третьего мировых конгрессов трансдисциплинарности.
So we followed the work of the second and third World Congress of Transdisciplinarity.
Мировых конгрессов по системному подходу, системным наукам.
The work of the World or the International Congress of Systemic Approach and Systemic Sciences.
Мы видим, как вот эти костяшки домино уже построены.
And we see that in both of the congresses, all the work is greatly done, and it is done in an excellent order.
И я думаю, что наши проекты будет тем толчком, который сложит в одну структуру все эти готовые к сотрудничеству костяшки домино.
And we hope that our project will help to other participants to take part in that project and to form a greater unit and to build the work of the project in a better way, and to form the whole work of the Congress and the organization.
мы предполагаем использовать, очень широко использовать методологию анкетирования специалистов.
We are supposed to use the methods of testing of each of the specialists.
И оставляем за собой возможность помочь именно в унификации и обобщении этой информации.
And we are responsible to unify and generalize all the given information to all of the participants and specialists.
Мы надеемся, что когда подойдет дата 3-го мирового конгресса трансдисциплинарности,
and we hope that to the beginning of the 3rd World Congress of Transdisciplinarity,
работа по этим проектам позволит выделить определенный раздел в этом конгрессе и сосредоточить обсуждение специалистов всего мира по конкретным вопросам, обсудить эти вопросы, эти результаты и подсказать какие-то новые свои идеи приложить сюда.
And we hope that to this date, to the date of the 3rd World Congress, we will collect all the specialists which will be ready to take part in the whole discussion, and the specialists which will be ready to make some suggestions and propositions to this project.
Мы надеемся, что именно организаторы высшего образования, они помогут нам сказать, в каких формах, в каких университетах нужно сделать пилотные проекты, на базе каких университетов сделать пилотные проекты. Вот это пилотные, группы пилотных проектов по вот этому основному проекту по образованию и по устойчивому развитию.
And we hope that the workers of higher educational institutions will help us to prepare the pilot version of any project, of each of the project.
Нас многие тренеры трансдисциплинарности на своих семинарах говорили, что нужно сделать, а мы предлагаем возможность практически теперь им осуществить свои же предложения в наших совместных проектах.
A lot of transdisciplinary specialists gave lectures on how to solve some transdisciplinarity problems. And according to our project, we give the possibility to this specialist to implement the theoretical knowledge in practical experiments.
По нашим расчетам, по нашим моделям, предыдущие 7 лет – это годы испытания современного общества.
And according to our calculations and according to our investigations, previous 7 years were a very trying and hard year for every society.
Поэтому подобные работы, они предполагают успокоить общество.
And that is why we hope that such projects will help to strengthen and to calm down the society.
Общество должно знать, общество и управленцы, государственное управление должно знать, что именно трансдисциплинарность позволит разработать в определенное указанное время все необходимые инструменты для безопасного мира.
And we hope that both scientists and government rulers will realize that it is only due to transdisciplinary approach we could create some special instruments to strengthen the world and to build a possible foundation for a better world.
Общество хочет, чтобы мир был безопасный сегодня, но мы должны сказать правду. Мы должны собрать все силы специалистов трансдисциплинариев, и только лишь через 7 лет мы дадим необходимые технологии безопасного мира и поможем этот мир сделать безопасным.
So according to the society, it wants the world to become a safer place right now. But according to our project, we can give to the world the possible planned version of a safer and better world, and we can give them possible instruments in 7 years that will help them to create that safer and better world that they dream of.
Поэтому мы надеемся на помощь именно всех категорий, значит, ректоров высшего образования, организаторов высшего образования, ректоров вузов, меценатов, которые прославились именно во Франции, которые собирали такие группы энтузиастов, создавали им условия. И когда мы получим эту поддержку, мы, конечно же, будем в тесном сотрудничестве в конкретные сроки добиваться указанных результатов.
And we sincerely believe that only with the help of the old workers of educational institutions, such as the head of the departments, the head of the institutions, the pedagogical staff, and only with the help of different French philanthropies, we can achieve all the goals of the project.
Я не уверен, что именно сегодня нам в чем-то могут помочь именно государственные чиновники. А вот другая категория, так сказать, некоммерческих, фонды, высшие институты и так далее, это та среда, которая благоприятно скажется на нашей работе и создать условия для нашей работы.
I'm not sure that today we can rely on the help of any government rulers, but I sincerely believe that today, with the help of different non-profit organizations, we can achieve all the goals of the project, or especially to form the foundations for the project.
Thank you very much.
That's it.
Спасибо большое for all the explanations that you share with us and the vision you propose to implement the two projects. If you can translate, please.
Спасибо большое за представление и за решение, которое вы предлагаете в реализации этого проекта.
Our experience by participating, organizing, and develop the third Worldwide Congress of Transdisciplinarity seems to be close that the organization you could improve with the two projects.
И кажется, что и дата, когда состоится Третий мировой конгресс, и даты, которые вы запланировали в своем проекте, очень близки друг к другу.
We had 4 national committees from 4 different countries: Brazil, Mexico, Italy, and France.
И у нас есть 4 национальные организации из 4 стран: это Бразилия, Мексика, Италия и Франция.
And in this way, we create like a task force, international task force, who support the objectives of the Congress.
И таким образом мы создаем международную группу, задача которой формировать, работа которой заключается в том, чтобы формировать задачи для этого конгресса.
When you talk about international peace, of course, this is a very sensitive subject, and maybe one of the last call of Basarab Nicolescu was to orientate us in creating what he called a strong transdisciplinary piece.
И, конечно, когда вы поднимаете вопрос о безопасном мире, это один из острых вопросов. Да, это один из острых вопросов.
Большой. Большой piece.
Да. Да, когда мы говорим о мире во всем мире, да. Это один из острых вопросов. И также этот вопрос поднимался. Excuse me, can you repeat the last part about the Basarabic piece, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes. What I want to say, if maybe that Vladimir and Tatiana could propose at international level to enhance the two projects to focus how TD can be a force to develop international peace.
И он говорит о том, что можете ли вы на основе в рамках вот этих проектов предложить на международном уровне, каким образом можно достичь мира на международном уровне.
Because in this way, there is actually a lot of ONG, non-governmental organizations who are already working for implement international peace, and maybe creating links with this ONG should be a step to organize a task force in order to develop the two projects.
Потому что уже есть несколько организаций, которые на международном уровне занимаются проблемами установки международного мира. И, возможно, имеет смысл установить какие-то связи с этими некоммерческими организациями для того, чтобы сформировать единую группу, которая бы занималась решением этого вопроса.
Because the advantage to work with a non-profit international organization is that this kind of structure, they have already people, funds and money to support the kind of TD project.
И плюс работы с такими организациями заключается в том, что, несмотря на то, что они некоммерческие, то у них уже все равно есть и фонды, и связи, и возможности для того, чтобы и оперативная группа для того, чтобы реализовывать эти проекты.
Замечательный вопрос, замечательный. Значит, первое. Очень много организаций делают декларации. Они заявляют проект, заявляют тему, громадную тему, высокую тему. Но когда мы читаем, что пишут, это большая разница между темой и способом их выполнения. На разных уровнях становится тема их выполнения.
So, first of all, thank you for your question. There are a lot of organizations that make different declarations of their project. And in that declaration, they have the project, the description of the project, its theme. But when we start to read that declarations of the project, the theme of the project, its aim, and the things that are counted there to implement the project, they do not coincide with each other.
На наш взгляд, плюрализм мнений, он хорош, когда существует одно определение мира, одно определение безопасности мира, одно определение ценностей и целей, которые должен этот мир достичь.
And
we are sure that it is a good thing to have various views on various subjects, but it is useful when you have a unified definition, unified definition of the world, of peace, of international peace, and the ways to achieve it.
Наша задача в наших проектах состоит в том, чтобы философски и методологически обосновать это одно определение. Оно в философии называется родовое определение.
And our aim is to make this project, but before making this project, to implement a unified definition on the basis of philosophical and theoretical foundations.
Если мы соединимся с теми организациями, о которых вы говорите, это будет уникальный опыт практического решения сложных, высокопороговых проблем современного общества.
And if we unify with the organizations that you are talking about, that will be a unique experience for both of the organizations and the ways of solving highly threshold problems.
Я полностью согласен с вашим видением, Флоренс. Я полностью согласен с вашим видением.
And I completely agree with your view of solving this problem.
И мы понимаем важность работы в команде.
And it is clear to us that there are a lot of benefits of working with a particular team.
И мы всегда поддерживаем членов команды, их мнение.
And we always support members of the team and their view.
Единственная просьба рассматривать это так, что руководство связями с этими организациями, некоммерческими фондами и так далее, мы бы поручили человеку, который хорошо знает языки и знает эти фонды.
But the only thing that we would like to ask you for is that the head, so if we start the work with that organizations, the head of that project should be the person who knows both of the languages and who deals with all of the problems on each of the level in a great way.
Со своей стороны мы постараемся обеспечить философскую, методическую и методологическую безопасность этих проектов, серьезную философскую, концептуальную и методологическую безопасность этих проектов.
And it is due to us to inform you that we will be responsible to philosophical and methodological safety of this project.
Участие в подобных проектах, таких высоких проектах, всегда участвуя в этих проектах, специалисты и организации, они могут рисковать своим имиджем.
And it is also a great risk to highly qualified specialists of any level to take part in such a project.
Мы не имеем права заявить проект и не выполнить проект.
And we realize that we have no right just to implement, just to speak about the project, but not to implement the project till the last level.
И поэтому чем больше участников и организаций, и отдельных ученых, исследователей будет задействовано в проекте, тем меньше ошибок мы сможем совершить.
And that is why the more participants and the more specialists will be included in that project, the less will be possibility to make any mistake.
Это позволит нам не совершать ошибки, а все выполнить, позволит четкое соблюдение графика инновационной карты проекта.
And that will also allow us to avoid making any mistake and will let us follow the plan that we have on our innovation map.
Thank you very much, Laurent.
Спасибо большое, Vladimir, for explanations. So, there is a lot of things to say. Can you translate, please?
Он говорит, что очень многое хочется сказать.
I think it's not the right time to discuss now about theoristic aspects of TD.
И я думаю, что сейчас, наверное, не самое правильное время обсуждать теоретические аспекты.
Because it's like a never-ending discussion.
Потому что это похоже на никогда не скончаемую дискуссию.
As example, in the chat of the discussion, some people are talking about Teilhard de Chardin, about Gaia, about neurologic and cognitive sciences.
Он говорит о том, что в чате мероприятия очень многие участники обсуждают разные теоретические аспекты работы разных исследователей. Он прочитает эти фамилии, можно увидеть в чате.
Some of us are talking about complexity, holistic.
Говорят о когнитивном подходе, о когнитивном комплексном подходе, о холистике.
And so, I'm agree that we have to build a common definition or common approach of what could be or what can be transdisciplinarity, but this is not the final goal.
И я, конечно, согласен с тем, что для начала нам нужно будет сформировать единое понимание того, что такое трансдисциплинарность, трансдисциплинарный подход, но это не должно быть единственной целью.
In my opinion, we have to use the TD spirit as a common aspect of what we want to build and what we want to share in order to pursue the goal. And I'm totally in confidence with the goal of international peace.
Но я считаю, что основы трансдисциплинарного подхода могут быть использованы для формирования общего видения, и также я полностью согласен с пониманием и подходом к формированию международного мира.
And now I am totally supporting the efforts and the objective of Tatiana and Vladimir to organize the path, organize the way, and organize the two projects in the way they want to do.
Я полностью поддерживаю Владимира и Татьяну в их попытке вести оба этих проекта тем способом, который они запланировали его вести.
So what we can propose and what we can offer in CIRET organizations is to make publicity and advertising worldwide to give some communications of the project of Vladimir and Tatiana, and we want to follow them and let them organize the different steps of the projects.
И то, что мы можем сделать сейчас на уровне организации CIRET, это сделать публикацию и сделать рекламу проектов, и также помочь в поиске связей для участников вот этих проектов.
As example, I give a link on the chat to a worldwide organization which is called TD Nexus. And the goal of TD Nexus is to centralize all organizations and people worldwide interested in TD activities.
Примером этого является ссылка, которую он дал в чате. Это ссылка на организацию, которая занимается также решением данных проблем на мировом уровне. В чате есть ссылка на эту организацию.
And this TD Nexus is a creation made by our partners in Brazil, which is called CIRET, and which organize this place like a sharing place for TD projects.
И так, эта организация называется TD Nexus, и это бразильская организация, которая помимо того, что занимается данными проблемами, она еще и дает площадку для поиска связи и для презентации и реализации своих проектов.
So we are very happy to follow those projects, and we will try to join the projects with the most members as possible interested in the two projects which were presented tonight and which I will put online when we will finish this.
И я очень рад, что у нас есть возможность принимать участие в этом проекте. Мы будем следить за проектом и поможем в поиске людей, которые могут принимать участие в проекте. И как пример этого я опубликую видео данной встречи после окончания встречи.
So I think as president of CIRET organization, I have made all what was expected and all what we can do now. And I would like to finish this presentation with some maybe questions or interactive discussions with people here present, if they have some points to share or some questions to ask, maybe.
Я думаю, что как руководитель организации, как президент организации, я сделал все, что от меня ожидалось в рамках этого проекта. И, возможно, у кого-то из участников есть вопросы. Если же нет, то хотел бы закончить презентацию.
So maybe some people here would like to give a call or some intervention. Some are on vacations. I'm very happy for them.
Он спрашивает у участников, если кто-то хочет задать вопрос или продолжить обсуждение.
Здесь надо сказать, что там в презентации есть электронная почта. Обращаться, и мы потом можем создать на нашем сайте соответствующий раздел, где мы все вопросы можем обобщить и выставить для всеобщего обозрения.
And in the presentation, we will have the email address or the authors of the project, and any other participants who would like to go on with the discussion can write to that email address. And later, Vladimir will generalize all the questions on their website and will publish all of that questions.
Okay, that's good. And also maybe if I can receive the presentation that you show today in order to disseminate it on the mailing list of CIRET, plus the video, it will be two mediums that will help our members and friends to take contact with Vladimir and Tatiana in order to pursue the projects.
Он говорит, есть ли возможность получить эту презентацию для того, чтобы он тоже мог ее выложить вместе с видео, и это будет идеальным дополнением, когда он будет отсылать все эти и видео, и саму презентацию для остальных членов CIRET-организации.
Конечно, я все документы сегодня же пришлю.
He will send you all of the documents today.
Perfect. So, спасибо большое. If there is no more intervention of the audience, maybe it is time now to close this meeting, or someone would like to say something? Maybe Peter?
No, thank you. Other than profound gratitude to our speakers, and may Transdisciplinary continue to create world peace. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Enjoy your vacations. You deserve it a lot. And we will be very pleased to continue our exchanges later. Some people are giving their thanks in the chat, and they say that when they will see the replay, they maybe will have some other possibilities for interactions. If you can translate, please, Aziza. Oh, she's good. Okay, спасибо большое to everyone, and see you later. Bye-bye.
Да.
Спасибо.
Thank you very much.